What up, YouTube? How is everyone? I hope good. I'm Sunny with Healing Power Divine Universe, and I am here with channeled messages from the higher power, and God is here with me. This is going to be a little bit more positive of a reading than I've had in quite a while. This is what your family loves the most about you. So, with that being said, I will show you the tarot and oracle cards I pulled first, and then we'll go on to the channeled message. So, addiction. Heroin, meth, opiates, sex, gambling, overeating, lying too much. And Sunny says to say fuck you, LOL. Good luck in prison, as you all are used to all the things you said I was up to. And again, God said fuck you. That's not a very positive way to start it, but it is positive, I promise. Tribal spirit dancer. The universe has my back. Love begins. Seven of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Doesn't have to be the zodiac signs I read off, by the way. We have the Seven of Swords twice in a row. So that's a strong message. We have Seven of Pentacles, 777. That's, you might want to Google that. Angel number 777, angel number meaning is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Doesn't have to be. We have man is going to prison along with a woman and her children too. Warrior of the heart. When I lean towards love, I am led. Sacral Chakra. Judgment. We have the Queen of Bees, Queen of Swords. Could be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Doesn't have to be. King of Swords. I always read it as an Aquarius, but does not have to be an Aquarius. We have money coming in and will be here soon. Thank you, God, the most. Wounded healer. When I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. Conflict and defeat. The Chariot, sign of Cancer. We have the Nine of Beetles, which is the Nine of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And then we have the Four of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Okay, so this is quite a long channeled message. Starting with the addiction card, as you were so set on not living a life full of nasty addictions, even though you have been through so much and at times would turn to drugs the most, but knew you were stronger than even meth to allow it to destroy your life. There is a man that thought you were a horrible heroin addict for many years and regrets listening to a stepmother who said it started when you were in high school, and he now knows you never used that nasty drug, as heroin is the devil itself. Now, the Tribal Spirit Dancer card represents a powerful person who is so strong that not even the devil worshippers could take you down. As you taught a lot of people to never give up, no matter what others said about you and did to you, and even said about your own mother too. You taught others to rely on spirituality for your strength, and that you also always rely on unconditional love and the most out of everything, and now everyone in the world now can truly see it too. The Seven of Swords twice is the fuckers that try to destroy your life with fucking immature lies, rumors, fake messages, and horrible, nasty, sick-ass porn videos they sent to everyone in your family that were not you and your beautiful, badass grown daughter too. Now, let's move on to the Seven of Pentacles, which represents these fucked up women the most, as they were stealing from your accounts, financial links, and from a trust fund your grandma and grandpa left for you years ago that your stepfather tried to take from your entire life, but your mother hid it away until a man in finances found it and robbed it too. Up until he was audited at the bank he was a so-called president at and had to sell everything to replace it. And also is the friend of a man's wife and their fucked up children whom were involved up until a woman said, I am not pregnant, and he then realized he was so fucking conned too. But by that time, it was too late, as he too is now going to prison, but only because, not going to prison, excuse me, but not going to prison, but only because he was a huge part of getting the correct information to prove they were trying to kill your family and his child too. Now, the Warrior of the Heart card represents the true warrior you have been throughout your entire fucking life, as you were tremendously abused by your entire family, including a mother who should have stood up for you the most, a daughter who lied to help her grandfather cover up his tremendous sicknesses for $10,000 that he just took back, and a brother that was a selfish, stubborn, a know-it-all, up until he found out his so-called wife was a prostitute that they hired to kill him and his children too. As he read a message she was sending to your real father's wife too that said she couldn't stand his justice of a fucking sister, but really meant to say just a piece of shit sister, as you were a schizophrenic like his Native American mother too. He then said to shut the fuck up, and she attacked him again too, then claimed, like that alcoholic piece of shit Stephanie claimed years ago, that he too was a abusive man too. But this time he was more prepared, as she was arrested because their cameras proved she was a fucking whore that was only in it for his money and was raping his son and daughter too. And by the way, yes, this already happened, so don't get too upset, as he is now on board in seeking the death penalty too. The Sacral Chakra is a card that totally describes you to a T, as you are that sexy, loving person that is so sensitive too. But the downfall of being those things is people at times want you so much that they tend to get obsessed with you. And then when they can't have you, they spread rumors and lies about you and cast unnecessary judgment to make themselves feel better. But in reality, you always love them no matter what, which then teaches that person a tremendously expensive lesson that in your case left a man facing prison for the rest of his life. Now, the Queen of Swords is you, as you are never afraid to cut people and even the corrupt family of yours out of your life, so you can make room for your own peace, happiness, and freedom that none of them ever had the fucking balls to do, up until they realized you were being abused by them too. Not really, but their names were on those fake court records too. Now, the King of Swords is not an Aquarius, as you say in your channeled messages, if you are actually psychic, they claim. But in reality, it is a badass detective that took your case for free when he heard a horrifying story about a nobody woman from Rawlins, Wyoming, that he used to never know, but then fell for too. Or in a regular reality, he will after meeting your smiling face too. He is currently super busy, as he is fighting with that fake FBI agent to get your money and reputation back in order, according to that cunt Judge Snyder. Laugh my fucking ass off. With that said, that right there is another thing your family adores about you the most, as you aren't afraid of that cunt anymore now too. But in reality, there was a person that said you fucking would go the distance to fucking stand your ground to that cunt's smiling face in those fake court hearings and tell her to fuck off too. They were not too happy when, excuse me, when she made you sit in jail for 19 days for a fake warrant Up until they heard you smiled every day, even after kicking a Marine's ass that was a child molester, cult member, and who would poison your 2 badass dogs and you too. They couldn't stop smiling and bragging after they heard he couldn't move for a month as you kicked his ass that fucking bad. But what bothered them the least was you still have a broken hand that barely moves. But they knew you were such a badass that you took it again like a champ that you were your entire fucking life. They also love to brag to a detective that you are the strongest woman and to never piss you off too. They also have a tremendously big surprise as they have a lot of money coming from your mothers and your mineral rights too, that a cunt judge was supposed to get for fucking you over, but was too stupid to actually claim it under the right last name, and are totally impressed that you knew something was up with them trying to claim you all these years on their fake IRS claims too. And every single claim was denied as they thought you never changed your name with those fake marriages too. Now, the wounded healer is that badass Native American medicine woman they all knew you were a long time ago, and were tremendously stupid to be jealous of that too. But now they see just how you healed not only a brother who was a sick man too, but a world with your touch and your unconditional love now too. You have been through so much conflict in your life, but you never have allowed it to drag you into a life that isn't God's will too. You are a Cancer according to that Chariot card, as you always take a ride on a new, healthier, much more exciting adventure too. Plus, you will never allow anyone to stop you, as God leads your way always to your next path, and you always end up in first class until a bunch of Wyoming natives throw bullshit and adversities in your way, but you always make it through with a big fuck you too. You have so much love for the higher power, as you know your faith will never leave you stuck in that fucked up Wyoming, living in a car in Florida or a ghetto apartment that you have to fucking carry your pride and joy little wiener dog up and down 3 flights of stairs. But you would never complain, as she hasn't left your side since the day you brought her home and showed her real love, and her the same. Lastly, the 4 of Pentacles represents not you. It was a family who took from you and left you so poor out of selfishness, greed, laziness, and pure jealousy. But now they are not as rich as they used to be, but now finally see they made the wrong choice and finally have decided you were so much more important, and are still trying to figure out how the hell you made it this far forward, as they can't pay their house payments and afford their luxury lifestyles anymore. But you taught them so much, as they never knew how bad it feels not to have money for your children too, and are faced with learning a tremendous hard lesson that God said to allow them to struggle, as that is their karma for ignoring your daughter and you the most too. And they will learn to thank God and not the devil this lifetime too. So thank you, God, for showing them the most that life is more than just money and material world too. XOXOXO, God, the most, and that woman too. God bless you.